Do we have a good one in store for you guys today? So, if you'll give me about 2.5 minutes, we'll get into it. See you in a few.
Yeah, the mice and Mike inside my night. Yeah. Talk time with MrCoop. Daylight's breaking coffee up. Click that stream, let's fire it up. Morning crew already rolling deep. I'd imagine that with the good vibes keep. Screens glow bright, it's go time now. MrCoop's here and he's shutting it down. Big laugh, straight facts, nothing disguised. Countdown hits and the camera shine. Red light flashing right on time. The mic is hot, the talk's alive. MrCoop bringing the morning drive. Say your piece, give it all you got. Wake the whole world cause the mic is hot. Yeah, we sip that brew, settle in our spot. Conversation flowing while the mic stays hot. He scans the chat with a careful glance. Calls it real, gives everyone a chance. Keep it cool, keep it clean. Step too far, he'll cut the scene. Whoa, yeah. Stories rolling, punchline land. Morning crew, feeling grand. From deep discussions to laughing loud. This right here is our kind of crowd. No cue cards, no holding back. Just real life talk on the morning track. Hands up high, let the energy fly. Everybody tune cause the mic is high. Yeah. Talk times on the vibe won't stop. MrCoop turning it up a notch. Speak your truth, bring what you got. Truth meets laughter when the mic stays hot. From the first hello to the last coffee pour, we're locked in strong, wanting more, wide awake from the jump. No lie, morning feels better when the mic is high. Good morning's flying, no call out. Every voice counts in this crowd. Turn it up, don't miss your chance. Step right in and join the dance. So the mic is hot, the show's in gear. MrCoop keeping it real right here. Wake up, fired up, hit your stride. Everything's brighter when the mic is high.
Hey, good morning, all you fabulous people out there. How you guys doing today? Man, it is a beautiful day here in Central sunny Florida. Yes, it is. Sun's just shining. Oh, dogs are barking, birds are chirping, and the crazy rooster is howling out there like a crazy man. So, how are you guys today? Wow. It's going to be a good one today. Let me tell you, we got some good stuff rolling in here hot today. We're going to be talking about the little Miss Mackenzie. Yes, we are. We've got the latest 2 videos that's popped out. So we're going to be going over those later in the show. Dee will be here shortly. You know, she's taking care of family business right now with the breakfast and everything. So when she gets done, she'll be moseying on in. All right. Let's see what all you fabulous people got to say over here in the chat. Let's say some good mornings. Yes. All righty. We got Miss Tammy P up in the house. Good morning, Tammy. We got Mr. Kiko in the house. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? We got Nanny Clampett. How are you, young lady? Tracy Spencer. What's up, girly girl? Big dirt notification. Right on. Good morning. Who else we got in here? We got Miss Joan. How you doing, young lady? How you doing? All right. There's Nancy. How you doing? Good morning, young lady. Mr. Al Walker. Man, do we have some documents that dropped the past couple of days. Let me tell you. Oh, my. Flips has done gone and lost her mind again, and so has Paint Chips. Whoo, man. I think Paint Chips dropped it says 17 pages, but it's more than that. I can't remember how big Leslie's is, but she's even dropped one. Crazy stuff again. Oh, my. I'm just wondering, with all of the stuff that she's fabricating in these motions she's sending in, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if she can get in trouble for this stuff or not. I didn't think that you could blatantly lie to a judge, and she has flat out made some statements in these motions they're fabricated. There's absolute lies. There's no truth to them whatsoever. It's going to be very interesting to see what the judge has to say about all this nonsense. Of course, in that case, since it's in state court, it's in Orlando. I haven't heard anything from that judge. That judge hasn't given an order, hasn't struck anything, hasn't done anything over there that I'm aware of. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this lady judge does. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Oh, who else we got in here? Oh, Donnie Marie. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you? Hey, guys and gals, everybody on replay and everybody that's here right now, please make sure if you are not following us over on Rumble that you do so, because you never know. YouTube's been having a lot of problems here lately. And we stream on both platforms simultaneously every day. We stream right here and on Rumble. So if something happens here, you need to be over there, because if something happens here, I guarantee I'll be over there. And you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Right on, right on. Oh, scammers don't win. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Who else we got in here? Crystal, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Oh, Roy. Good morning, Roy. Haven't seen you in a bit, my friend. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yeah. Blue, how you doing? How you doing? Mr. Landfield, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. All right. Kim, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Jeanette, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, did some of you guys miss, or does any of you guys catch Jay this morning? He's got a good show going on over there this morning. That Jeremy DeWitt, he's got caught multiple times for impersonating law enforcement. He's actually, what he does is he's got a company, or he had a company. And what they did is they were, dang it, what do you call that? For funerals, they stopped the traffic. They were funeral escorts, and he thinks he's a police officer, and he's not. I mean, this guy is an absolute loon. He's been around for years. I actually met him. I'd say it's probably been about 6 or 7 years ago. I met him over in Ybor City. I thought he was a cop, and he's not. He's not a cop at all. This guy has got uniforms of every kind of uniform you can think of. He's got it. And he dresses, I mean, his vehicles look exactly like cops' vehicles. His clothing or cops' clothing. This guy is an absolute loon. And he thinks he has the right to do this. He literally thinks he can tell police officers what to do. It's insane. If you guys have never seen or heard of this guy, it's Jeremy DeWitt. Okay, do a search. He's all over YouTube. You'll find him everywhere. But this guy is an absolute loon. And Jay was going over him this morning, and it was hilarious. Oh, who else we got in here? Don, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, my. Ginger Jim, good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you? James, good morning. Good morning. How you doing, James? Oh, who else? Oh, there's Sharon. The FBI report from Lips is a joke, Sharon says. I haven't got the report yet. I'm sure when it pops up, I'll grab a hold of it. But I would really be interested to see that. I mean, I think something's wrong with the young lady. I really do. I don't understand why a sane person would be filing the way she's filing. She's literally filing like she's the plaintiff in this situation. I can't make sense out of it. Everybody I've talked to is the same way. It's just mind-boggling. Joan, good morning. How you doing? Fema Help. How you doing? Good morning. Torhild, all the way from the Netherlands. How you doing, girly girl? Pickles is over. Nancy's over in the Rumble Dungeon. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Terry, good morning. How are you? Tree God, good morning. Good morning. Kitten Volunteer, how are you today? Rick, good morning. Good morning. Guys and gals, just remember Dee will be with us here shortly. She's taking care of breakfast and the family right now. So when she gets all caught up and done, she will be here. She likes the Mackenzie stuff too. Matthew, good morning. Document 36 is crazy from Lips. Case 90 plus pages. Right on, right on. Thank you for sending me the email on that, Matthew. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. Who else we got? We got Cynthia. Good morning. Good morning. Who else is in here? Oh, let's climb on down the wagon here. Yeah. Oh, the judge could be waiting until they come to hearing to rule on anything. That's right. They have a hearing coming up, on the 16th, I think. Yeah, it's on the 16th. I think it's a status hearing. Oh, Mr. Coop, me and others have researched the Orange County judge. Lips actually made some comments about that judge, and they are not good. Oh, wow. Wow. I was digging through my stuff last night, and I actually ran across a file that I had forgotten that I had got. Al, I think I'm going to send it to you and let you create a new channel for it over on Discord. It's got a ton of files, motions, and court rulings on flips. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I was thinking about making a whole new channel just for all of her bar stuff. I haven't went through all of it yet, but when I do, I'm going to send you, and I think we're going to create a channel over there for all that. So if anybody's interested in reading up on all of the bar stuff that she had going on, that'd be a good place to start right there. It'll be all in one place where you can find it. Debbie D, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, la 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 la. Oh, scammers don't win. What you got to say? I heard on the grapevine the paint chips was going to file new motions. Yes, he filed new motions. Yes, he most certainly did. And we got them. We'll be going over that stuff tomorrow. Yes, we most certainly will. We most certainly will. All right. Who else we got in here? No response to any motion she has made. I checked this morning. The court doesn't seem to act fast. We will probably see Randy's response ever before the court. Right, Cynthia. I bet you you're right 100%. Angel baby, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? And there's Mama Coop, my sweetheart's in the house. Good morning, sweetie. Oh, who else we got in here? I'm a little behind, guys, because I'm reading chat. So I'm saying good morning to all you fine folks. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, Denise Melanoff, how you doing? All right. Red Rosin, how you doing? Oh, goodness gracious, all you fine, fabulous people up in here. Sandy, good morning. Oh, Dan Davis, good morning, my friend. Good morning. How you doing? Grandkids Taxi, haven't seen you in a hot minute. How you been? You're testing me, CK. What's happening? The closing arguments for the Trevor Grams versus Town of Fig Newton and the cop is happening right now. All right. Who else we got in here? Big Al, good morning, my friend. Glad to have you. Oh my goodness. Somebody's ba-ding-a-ding-dinging me. I forgot to turn off my notifications, guys, so I'm sorry about that. Oh. Yes. SR. Yeah. I better turn those off or I'm going to get nailed pretty hard. Oh, my. But there's such wonderful people that message me all throughout the day. Did it? Why didn't it turn on? Okay, I'll turn it off when I'm done. And knowing me, I'll forget. Yep, I'll forget as usual. I'll forget. All right, Rick. Good morning. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? He came in my radar a few years ago. I first saw Jeremy DeWitt. Yeah, he's a flipping nutbag. He is an absolute crazy loon. I don't know what his problem is. He talked about jumping out of a helicopter in, I think it was Volusia or somewhere like that overseas, and he's never served in the military either. Coop, isn't that the federal officer's offense? Isn't that a federal offense to impersonate a law? Yes, it is. It is. It's big time down here. And the sad part is the guy's been arrested for it numerous times. I mean, numerous times. All right, I better get caught up here. I'm getting so far behind on the chat. It's unbelievable. Terry Bear. Oh, JJ Raid already this early? Wow. He must have been early. All right. Terry Bear, good morning. Mama Palmer, how you doing? How you doing, girly girl? Guys, if I miss any of you guys, I apologize. Just know good morning from old Coop. Lisa, good morning. Steven or Steve, good morning. Wow. All you guys are just flying in here. Oh, Brenda, good morning. Stragglers, little Badger. Good morning, Badger. How you doing? Kelly, yes. Good morning. Sarasota Beach Bum. How you doing, my friend? Oh, everybody's rolling in. French Psycho, how you doing? Now that everybody's rolling in up in here, so let me remind everybody, if you are not following us over on Rumble, you need to be, okay? Just in case something happens to YouTube, I simultaneously stream on both platforms every day. So if you're not following us over there, the mods will be posting the link for Rumble in the chat as we go through the stream today. So make sure, click over there, follow, come on back, just that way you're one step closer to where if something happens here, you can catch us over there. Okay, JJ Raid. Yes. Good morning, leg warmer lady. How you doing? All right, there's Robin again. Good morning from sunny Prince Georgia. Wow, you up there in the Georgia land. Yes, Virginia, sunny and warm. Right on. Good morning, Robin. How you doing? All right, who else we got in here? Jim's over in the Rumble Dungeon. Good morning. How you doing? Here and after, how are you, young lady? There's definitely something seriously wrong with that lady. She needs major help, I feel. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, young lady. I sure do. Oh, my. Polymopicus, good morning, my friend. How you doing? Glad to have you. All right, we're scrolling. Seeing who else we got in here. Yes. The numbers are climbing. Yes, but we're going to be going over the Mackenzie, the little car crash girl, again today. I've got her latest 2 videos that are out. One of them is 100 and I think it's 102 text messages that they have. And then the other one is the latest one. I can't remember what the name of that was. Oh, okay. Here, I got it right here. Come on, tell me. I got 104 shocking Mackenzie Shirilla texts with boyfriend. And then the second video, we got 2 videos for you guys today. The second one is, did Potts really cause Mackenzie Shirilla fatal crash? And that one came out about 13 hours ago. The other one, the first one we're going to go over, came out about a day ago. But yeah, we're going to see what all text messages between the 2 of them have came out. Man. Oh, good morning, Bear. How you doing? Curious Bear. Good morning. Badger John, good morning, my friend. Good morning. How are you? Just bear with me, guys. Dee will be here shortly. She's taking care of breakfast right now. All right. Let's see who else. Linda, good morning. How you doing? Coops Discord. Right on, right on. There you go, guys and gals. Nanny Clampett just posted the Discord a while ago. I'm way behind. I'm going to get caught up so I can see who all's in here. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. Just know, good morning, Wookie. I seen somebody said good morning to Wookie. Oh, there's DR. Good morning, DR. MM Marsh, how you doing? How you doing? Good morning, good morning. Man, all you fine, fabulous people are rolling up in here deep this morning. Yes, you are. Gary, good morning. How are you? Wow, everybody's still saying good morning. Good morning. All right. It's a fabulous day. Oh, and we got, oh, that's right. I forgot about Shara's video. It premiered last night. Yes, Shara had a fantastic show last night. I think she did a premiere like a little after 11 or so. I didn't get to watch it yet. So we might go over that tomorrow. Might go over today. I don't know. She's on this gal, this squat pump lady. I think it's fine or funny. Fleece and all them think that nobody should be talking about these people, that everybody deserves a second chance, except Jeremy Hells. Jeremy Hells is evil, according to her. He's just evil man, and everybody should just try and crucify him over there. And I don't understand why, but yet they're all about second chances, and they're all about people trying to improve their lives. I mean, for Christ's sake, they've got felons over there, they've got disbarred lawyers over there, and they're trying to they're talking about fraud. Oh my God. How can they talk about fraud? Anybody committing fraud? Look at all the fraud that's been going on over there. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's insane. These people even think before they speak. It's amazing at some of the stuff that these people talk about. It's insane. Oh, it was right after Tug and Megan. It was really a good one. Right. But you can tell who's the enabler in that family, right? I'm telling you, I don't know this dude. Okay. The one that's having the squabbles with Squat Pump. I don't have a clue who he is. I don't care. It's none of my business. All right. And it's none of my business about Squat Pump. But what is my business is watching these nutbags trying to claim that they're professional victims when they're the ones causing the shit. They're the ones starting the trouble. Okay. I'm not defending this guy. I don't know nothing about him. All I know is somebody is not going to go out of their way to mess with someone unless they mess with them first. And I've said it before. I swear, Lisa strikes me as the type of person, she will go out in her driveway and she will scream at somebody across the street just to get them going. And when they get going, she'll pick up the phone and say, now I got you. Go ahead. Keep screaming. I mean, shit. I was watching one of the body cam footages from last night, and she was playing part of her recording to the police officer, right? Showing how this guy yells and screams at him. And it was so hilarious because who did you hear more yelling and screaming? Her at him. And she's trying to play it off to the cop that she's not the shit stirrer. I mean, for Christ's sake, she's sitting there, gets the guy all worked up. And the thing that I thought was funny is it was the whole thing was Squat Pump was going to the store, right? She was on the golf cart going to the store, and Lisa's on the phone with her telling her, hey, this guy's out there. He's waiting for you to come back so he can film you. So when Squat Pump rolls up, the first person that opened their mouth was Squat Pump. And then the guy said, oh, that's illegal driving that golf cart without a license, blah, blah, blah. And then here comes Lisa antagonizing it. And she wants to sit back and say she's the victim. Bullshit. It's crazy. It's right there on the body cam. And if those cops don't see who the instigator is, there's something wrong. Now, I'm not saying this guy's innocent. He's probably playing his part in it just as much as they are. But to me, it's a tit for tat situation. It's neighbors after neighbors. It's not one-sided. I guarantee you, from all of the bullshit that we've seen Lisa put Jeremy Hells through, she's an instigator. I guarantee you. I guarantee you she's the one that's instigating all of this shit. Uh, well, we can see it through all the body cam footage. I mean, this guy's, if she's got, well, remember she did do videos, her creeper neighbor, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. You don't want people messing with you. Don't go out there messing with them. Ignore them. I mean, if you ignore somebody, they go away. Okay, they might sit over there in a little corner and talk shit about you, but for one, they mainly just go away. So ignore them. That's what I do. I don't put any stock in what haters have to say. They don't bother me. They can say whatever they want, but live your life. Stay out of people's business. I mean, shit. You got the villages up there. I don't see how anybody lives that close to people. I mean, yes, I don't live in one of those neighborhoods. I live in a neighborhood, but I don't live in one of those cookie cutter neighborhoods where it's $300,000-$400,000 homes and they're all right up on top of each other. I have neighbors that are probably my neighbor beside me. He's probably 50 feet from me, but he's a good neighbor. The guy across the street, there's a fence. I can't even see their house. Well, I can't see in their house. I see a fence. And then the neighbor behind me, they're a good distance away. But these people, it's like a game for them. I think a lot of them need a hobby. They need to concentrate on their peens, their crystal dildos and all that stuff, and just leave people alone. All right. Her evidence reminds me of elementary school bullies on the playground. They pick and pick until the victim reacts, then cries wolf to the teacher, and victims get in trouble. Exactly. I'll tell you right now, my opinion is she's been a bully her entire life. That's just who Lisa strikes me as, is a bully. And it's shown every night she goes live. That's all she has to concentrate on is Jeremy Hells and how bad of a person Jeremy Hells is. It's every single time she goes live. I think there's maybe been, since she's been jumped on this bandwagon, I think there's maybe been 2, maybe 3 videos or streams that she's done where she didn't talk about Jeremy Hells. I think 1 or 2 of them were about this guardianship stuff that Leslie was into. But these people are absolutely insane. What gets me is the fact that any sane judge will see through all of this garbage. But until the judge gets to the point to where they can see the discovery and they can see the evidence, you're going to have all this crazy stuff running amok. You're going to have all these motions. Like, I mean, Jesus, she filed 8 motions in one day, 2 on Meg, 2 on Tug, 2 on Jeremy, and 2 on George. Hey, good morning, D. How you doing, girly girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We just ranting.
Ranting.
Yep. We talking about Leslie and Felisa and all their goofy stuff. Did you get to watch Shar last night?
No.
I didn't get to watch it either. So, yeah, there is that.
Right.
But anyway, guys and gals, good morning. Y'all welcome D, and I'm going to let D take over for a minute because like a dodo, I didn't fill up my iced tea before I started, and I'm going to just let her have the floor, and I'm going to go get some tea.
Well, hey, everybody.
Cool? Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Hey, everybody. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Torhild. Hi, Jackie. Hi, DR. Hi, Big Al. Hi, Faves. Hi, Joan. Friend Psycho. Hi. Hi, Mama Coop. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, let's see. Hi, Al. How are you? Something to bark about. How are you doing? Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Nort. How are you? Hi, Rick. Here and after. Good morning. Oh, it's almost afternoon. I am late due to a big breakfast today. I was up early, went to the grocery store, and had to buy stuff to make omelets for everyone. And the potatoes my husband pulled yesterday, those were fried up, and we had fried potatoes, omelets, and sausage gravy. And yes, I did make biscuits as well. So that was a big breakfast, and it's not even Sunday. Normally, those are on Sunday.
Good morning, William. How you doing, my friend? I'm back, as you can see.
I could see.
Yeah, you got me all hungry this morning when you was talking about breakfast and stuff.
I tell you what, it's like, oh my gosh, it's not even Sunday, and everybody wanted a big breakfast. So I'm like, okay, we'll do big breakfast. That's fine.
Around here, usually I don't eat breakfast during the week. Uh, Usually it's only on the weekend when Mama's off. We'll cook
Right.
breakfast. But most of the time, we eat dinner usually pretty early, like between 3 and 4. So
Hmm.
I don't eat breakfast. I just wait till we eat dinner.
Yeah, generally throughout the week, it's generally like scrambled eggs or scrambled eggs and sausage or French toast or pancakes, just something simple. Or sometimes it's even, hey, let's just fix me a fried egg sandwich for breakfast and nothing else. Or they'll want grits. So it just depends.
Well, I like my egg sandwiches. I like my stuff like that. But that damn bread,
You're right.
I eat a sandwich and then my blood sugar goes shoo, straight to the roof. So if I
Gotcha.
eat before I go live, halfway through the show, I feel like crap. I
I hear
just want
you.
to lay down and go to sleep. So I just skip breakfast till I'm done with the live, and then we're done with the live around 1 o'clock. Well, 3 or 4 is only a couple hours away, so I usually wait.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So
Well,
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. We usually try to have dinner between 4 and 5:30, so that way the kitchen's cleaned, everything's picked up, everything's put away, and then everybody can relax and
Right
just
on, right
enjoy
on.
the evening. Yeah.
I was telling the chat earlier that how have my favorites come popping in? MrCoop, the villages spans over 57 square miles. That is 36,000 acres. It's larger than the island of Manhattan. Yes, it's a big place, girly girl. It is a big
Wow.
place. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I think the villages is like in 2 counties. I think
Oh,
it's like
wow.
split. I think there's part of the villages in one county and part of the villages in another. Now, don't quote me on that. I don't know for a fact, but I think that it's in 2 counties. It's
Huh.
it's not a small place. It's pretty big.
Wow.
Now, Polk County, I live in Polk County, and Polk County's not the biggest county in Florida, but it's one of the biggest. I think it's the second biggest.
Oh,
But our sheriff's department down here is nothing like there it is up in I think it's Sumter County, that where the villages are at.
I think so. Lake,
Well,
something. I don't know.
police reports were filed in Sumter County, I do believe.
Oh, okay.
Bench owner police reports.
Oh, yes, I think.
Yes. Okay. Did just one developer build that? Wow. Here and after, I don't know. I don't know if it was one developer.
I, I don't know. When did that come to be? I mean, when did they decide to do all this? Was it like in the 80s they built that place, or 90s, or I
I
don't
think
know.
it started out and then it's just grown and grown and grown over the years. 'Cause I never heard about the place until shoo. I came back from Missouri in '07, and I think the first time I ever heard about the villages was somewhere around 2013, 14. I can't even remember what the conversation was about. Oh, that's what it was. Is I was headed up that direction, and I was on I was on the highway, and they had that big villages thing.
Right?
It's like a bicycle overpass or whatever it is, and it says the villages on it. I saw that, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I started doing some research on it, trying to ask people what it was about. But I really didn't learn about it until all of this, that it was the STD capital of Florida and all that good stuff.
Okay. Oh, wow.
What?
According to this is just what I'm seeing. Uh, let's see. It
Good
seems
morning.
like a gentleman. I could be wrong. I'm just reading this. A gentleman named Harold Schwartz they traced their roots to the early 70s, and Harold Schwartz was a Michigan businessman. He purchased a small mobile home park in Lake County, originally named Orange Blossom Gardens, and it served as a modest destination for retirees. The community was officially renamed The Villages in 1992 after Schwartz's son, Gary Morse, spearheaded a massive expansion.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go. I wasn't here
I didn't
in
either.
I wasn't here in '92, so I
Yeah,
didn't know nothing about it. I kind of figured it was a retiree community. We have a lot of
yeah,
those communities here in Florida, but I think that's like the biggest one. And think about it. It's located almost smack middle of Florida. So you can go any direction and find anything. That's why I like living where I live, because I can pretty much be anywhere in Florida within, 4 hours. I can be anywhere. I can be in the
right,
Keys. I can be up Jacksonville. I can be over in Pensacola. It's I love it.
right,
And where I live, we don't get hit as bad with the hurricanes because I'm not right on the coast.
right. And it seems like they hired designers who had worked on Universal Studios to make it feel authentic. Huh. So I guess they were trying to give it more of a retirement vibe or feel at the time. I don't know.
Oh, it's smart because I mean, Orlando is a big giant hub from Florida. I mean, they have the airport there, they have Disney World, Universal. They have a lot of stuff right there in that area. I mean, you got Disney Town over there. You can spend weeks just touring Disney Town over there. It's right outside of Disney.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
We
There's
haven't.
it seems like they had mail order land sales too earlier than earlier than the early 70s. It seems like in the 60s he initially sold Florida land plots via mail order ads until federal laws halted that practice. Wow.
Why wouldn't you be able to sell whatever you wanted to sell? I mean,
I guess you can't do that. What if you're selling your neighbor's property? What if you were scamming and you put your neighbor's property uh, in a mail, in a flyer or something, and people bought your neighbor's property?
yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why our economy in Florida, our housing economy is so high, is because people from out of state, especially up around the New York and California area, they're buying property down here sight unseen because they thought
Wow.
it was so cheap. That's
Right.
what happened with the house across the street. That was a $80,000 house all day long. That guy or the woman sold it to one of those we buy houses people.
Right.
They put a little bit of lipstick and rouge on it. They put maybe about 30K into it. They turned
Right.
around and sold that house for $289,000. This
So
neighborhood does not warrant that kind of price.
wow. So in 1983, Schwartz bought out his partner and brought his son in, Gary Morse, into the business. Morse aggressively expanded the area by adding golf courses, town squares, and recreational facilities.
Oh
But
wow.
in 1992, the sprawling community was officially rebranded as the Villages. So in 92 is when they officially took the name The Villages. That's crazy.
Sticky widget.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
Stick.
So did okay.
Go ahead.
So when they added the golf courses and town squares and recreational facilities, so is it technically a city within a city?
I would think that it would be. I mean, they can govern themselves. They do have part of it has its own police department. I think that's Worcester, isn't it? Or
Uh,
Worcester, something like
I
that.
don't
Uh,
know.
I don't know. Fave said a while ago that it's in 3 counties. So take your pick. They probably have three
So,
different
okay, well
sheriff's
well,
departments.
if you look at it that way, then technically it is its own city, but it's encompassing other cities. It's sitting within some of their city limits.
Right, right.
That's wild.
That's how I would look at it. I mean, it's a community, but it, like you said, it encompasses several cities, several counties. So I mean, I don't know how. I do know they listed as a community in its own. As far as a
Okay.
city goes, I don't know if it's a city. I think listening to Lisa, I think that where she lives is governed by an HOA. So I don't know how that all works over there.
I
I
don't
couldn't
either.
tell you. I could not tell you.
I
Uh,
have no idea.
I mean, all I know is I've drove through it a couple of times on the highway. I've never stopped, so I have no idea.
Right? Hi,
I
Brenda. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. I like the little small towns. When I moved back home from Missouri, we moved back to Plant City where I grew up. And that city had changed so much, I felt very uncomfortable there. So we moved to where we're at now. Or we left there, went to Lakeland, and then we bought this place and we moved from Lakeland to here. And this town is a lot smaller. This town is about the size of what I grew up. Plant
Oh,
City
wow.
has really grown, especially since I was gone. And Plant City was an old farming town. And I don't want to say it was segregated, but it was. You had different classes of people living in certain areas, right? And when I came back to Florida, it's not like that anymore. It's a melting pot now, which is fine. I love diversity, but it was just too fast paced for me. Uh,
Gotcha.
I felt very uncomfortable because I mean, living in Missouri, I lived in rural area, you know. I mean,
Right.
those were seasonal places up there. Down here, nothing's seasonal. It's year round here. We don't have 4 seasons. We just have hot and hotter. That's it.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Coop, in my part of the country, in a small town, come back here. Standard ranch style, 2-story with postage stamp lots built in the early 2000s are going nearly half a million. Exactly. I mean, these
wow.
houses down here are going for anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 nowadays.
Oh,
Yep,
wow.
yep, yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's insane. Uh, and what gets me is when I moved back to Florida in '07, these house prices did not start jumping like this until the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. They've been really jumping. These cookie cutter neighborhoods, these
Mhm.
little where they
Right.
build a multiple houses. These things are starting between 250 and upwards of 400,000 for these homes. And what I
Oh,
can't
wow.
understand is like the area where I live, you're not getting a job in this town that can pay you enough to pay your mortgage on a $400,000 home. You can't. So
So
where are these people working?
they would have to travel outside the county to
Right.
other areas to be able to afford their bills.
I mean, Lakeland's fairly good size town or city, uh,
Mhm.
but it's nothing like Tampa and it's nothing like Orlando. So if you're living in between Orlando and Tampa and you're living here where I live, you're having to travel for your job unless you've got multiple people in the house working pretty
Right,
decent jobs.
right.
But I don't get it. I don't get it because
Now
I know you guys have been looking into some stuff.
yeah. Now, what I don't like are when these, construction companies, they just start throwing homes together, and they're all the same. The only difference is either the garage is either on the left or the right, and the layout inside is maybe a few rooms are swapped, but the layout is strictly the same. And it's, to me, they're like cookie cutter houses, or
Right.
what we used to call cracker box houses.
Right.
They're all the same.
Right.
So it's like trying to find something different, unique. You would go, you'd be up to your eyeballs in debt trying to design your own home and have it built on the piece of land that you want it built on. So it's crazy.
Now, Big Al says, D, Mr. Coop, I have new channel up on running on Discord on Lips. Got her Florida bar portfolio or profile up. She is permanently retired, and the Florida bar rules on what is that? Permanently retired lawyers. Okay, I'll get you those files sometime today, Al. What I'll do is I'll probably just send them all to you, Al. You can weed through them, and whatever you want to put in there, you can. Whatever doesn't relate to it, that's all right. But Discord is basically a storage hub. Okay, so anybody that wants to go check out the motions that's being filed all throughout this Jeremy Hells thing, you guys are more than welcome to go over there. Peruse the files, download them if you need them. We have discussions. I know Al and CK and a bunch of them, they talk about the Jeremy Hells cases constantly every day. They're talking about it in there. So if you guys are interested, the doors are open for anybody that wants to join. I don't hide anything. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors going around that it's toxic, it's crazy over there. They're all just rumors. They're all bullshit. Anyone can tell you, D, you're in my server. Have you ever seen any toxicity?
No, but I'm not in there a lot.
Right.
I come and go.
Right. So, but anybody that wants to go over there is more than welcome to go. Just remember that it is like Facebook. Okay. So if there are people you don't like, well, block them. There's discussions that you don't like. Hey, scroll on by. That's how it works. It is public. I don't hide anything over there. So anyone who wants to go over there is more than happy to. Texas Military Mom, what you got to say? Okay. What was denied? Richard Luthman, he got denied yesterday. He filed a motion on Monday. And oh no, that was Tuesday. He filed a motion on Monday, got denied on Tuesday, and we went over it on Wednesday.
Right.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Housing economy is crazy here. Crazy. And these communities just keep popping up.
I know.
They're clearing out probably 30 acres on one of the roads down the road. They've already got 3 of those little cookie cutter communities, just 1, 2, 3 on this road. Across the street where it was all woods, now they're clearing out another 20 acres, fixing to put in more.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't understand where these people are getting jobs to be able to afford to live in these houses, because these houses aren't cheap.
So,
I mean,
so all of the land that these I guess construction companies are buying up. Do you guys have a D.R. Horton down there?
I don't know. What is that?
D.R. Horton, they build homes. They're home builders. They're a great big construction outfit.
I don't know, D.
I've seen some of their homes, and the color, the paint, the tile, the carpeting, the backsplash, all of that, it is all the same color.
Yep.
And it's like
the outside of the homes.
Yeah, everything.
You can't personalize any of the outsides of the homes. Usually they'll, like you said a while ago, they'll go like a light gray, and then they'll go a tan, then a light gray, then a tan. That's the only choice. I mean, whatever your house is painted, that's the only choice you have to repaint it, as far as I know. They'll have like 3 different styles of home within these communities you can choose from, either a 2-story or a big single story or a smaller single story.
Right.
And usually they all have 3 bedrooms or more. But yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. But yeah, they're just buying up all the woods around here. They're creating these new housing projects, and it's getting out of control. I think anyway.
It's I don't know what inhabits Florida. I don't know what kind of wildlife, if there was any wildlife, like, I don't know,
Oh,
foxes or
there's wildlife here. It's just
deer. Are they did is that like taking away, are there more animals that go through people's yards at night or something? I don't know.
well, a
That's just
lot of the properties that these developers are buying, they're private properties that usually most of them have some kind of fencing around them. They're just wooded. They're undeveloped land. But they're not like game reserves. They're not like where
oh,
it's just
okay.
you can just walk off the road into them. They all have either barbed wire fences or some kind of fence along the highways. Uh, but yeah, animals do live in these wooded areas. My thing is where are they going to live when they push them out of those areas?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Because
Yeah,
used to it was nothing seeing hogs or deer or all kinds of wildlife. Now it's kind of hard. I mean, we see possums and raccoons in the yard ever so often, but not like we used to.
right. That's just crazy. Yeah, Al, that's what I was trying to get at. Um, there's a lot of things that they don't follow through. They're just slapping them together, and they look beautiful. But when you've seen three of them and all three are the same, I kind of lose interest. It's like, yeah, that's nothing that I'm interested in. And you look at some of the lines when the tile has been laid, some of the lines are off. And then we walked into a home, and we were looking at it, and I said, is that water damage? Is that water damage up there where the wall and the ceiling meet in the corner? And it was water damage. So the roof was shoddy. I don't know how it passed inspection. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, nope, not looking at this builder. Nope, absolutely not.
I don't know. They keep growing here, and it's unreal. I just do you remember back in the 90s when they were giving anyone that breed a home loan? I mean, if you
Yes,
could walk through the door, they gave you a home loan. Whether you could afford it or not, they gave you a home loan.
right.
And then I would say it was the late 90s, early 2000s, all these balloon payments started coming due,
Hmm.
where their mortgages doubled, if not tripled. And then these people were losing their homes because they couldn't afford them anymore.
Right.
At this point in time, is this the same thing that's going to happen all over again? Because
I
I
hope
know for a fact these people, these $300,000, $400,000, how are they affording this in this area?
I don't know. I mean, what is if you I guess what they do is they take the area median income and the age, and they parse it out, and they're like, okay, so this group of people, they make X amount of dollars. So I guess that's how they would do it, because not everybody works in small towns. They travel to the bigger cities for their jobs. And so they live in the smaller towns because they can't afford the double and triple home prices in the bigger cities. So I
Chucky,
guess
you're right. I'm sorry, D, but Chucky, you're right. This keeps going. I will pack up. We'll go move to somewhere where this ain't going to happen. I'll go get me one of those floating camps and stick it in the Louisiana Bayou and just live out there with the gators and the
oh
snakes
my
and all that stuff.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Have you actually seen those
What's that?
the floating
Yeah,
cabins?
yeah,
Have you-
yeah. We've
Yeah.
got some here, but they're not on swamps. They're like on lakes, and they're just like little vacation cabins. But they're nothing like what's up in Louisiana. Louisiana, I've got a friend of mine. His family's from Louisiana, and he's shown me all kinds of pictures. And they have one of those fish camps, and it's basically just a little floating barge with a house on it. Well, it's not even a house. It's basically a shack. But some of them are very, very nice. You take what is his name? the guy that Troy Landry that starred on the Swamp People on the Discovery show Swamp People. He literally lives in a house that is built and it floats on the lake. It is
Oh, wow.
beautiful, beautiful.
Holy cow.
But he's made all the kind of money off of the Discovery Channel. But he also has his own fish hatchery.
Oh, wow.
So all of the gators that they go out and catch, they're processed right through his own hatchery. They bring in crawdads. He buys crawdads from the crawdad farmers. He resells fish. He refills. It's a regular hatchery. So he was already wealthy before Discovery ever came along.
Right.
But yeah, Chucky, you're right. It keeps going. Old Coop might just decide to pack up one day and head to the woods, head to the swamp. Because I feel more comfortable in places like that than I do cities. I think that's because working in the industry I did for so many years, it got to the point to where you're dealing with the public on an everyday basis.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't like being around crowds. I don't like being around a lot of people at all. I feel very uncomfortable with it now because I spent so many years having to deal with customers. And it's not that I don't like the customers. I did. It's just now I would rather, I like to be secluded. I don't like to be around a bunch of people. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Something to bark about. Good morning, young lady. How you doing? How you doing? I just took 3 boarding dogs so their families could go on a cruise. Oh, all right. Cool beans. Cool beans. Anyway, we got off of that subject real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, the housing market down here, just look at how the economy has went. I've noticed with a lot of people, the economy has gone up. I mean, it costs more for groceries, costs more for gas, costs more for everything. But yet the employment, they haven't increased any of the employment for most of these people. So not only are they paying more for groceries, gas, and all this other stuff, they're not making any more money to compensate for it. So how are they buying these $300,000-$400,000 homes?
Well, a lot of people will put their electric bill, or they will put their groceries or their car notes, car insurance on credit cards. So that way they just have that one payment a month to make in order to meet the mortgage.
Yeah.
So, and that's sad because you have just put yourself deeper in debt by doing so. A lot of people don't know to live within their means.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you right now, that's the worst thing anybody can do is live off credit cards. Because I mean, you're looking at anywhere from 18 to 25% interest on these credit cards, and if you don't pay that credit card off every month, man, the interest when you pay your monthly bill, if you don't give them extra money, if you just pay the minimum, you're looking at maybe $20 going to your actual principal, and then all the rest of that money is going for interest.
Even if $20 is going towards the principal line,
it's crazy.
It could be a few dollars depending on what your interest rate is, and that blows my mind. At the grocery store today, I saw this woman. She split her grocery order. She put her grocery order on 2 different credit cards, and I was like, "Holy cow!" I was just floored, and I understand that's way some people have to make ends meet. I understand it. I get
But
it.
in the long run, it's going to hurt them because if you don't have the money to pay for your groceries right now, what makes you think you're going to have that money come time for that bill to roll in? Because if you just pay the minimum on that credit card keeps adding up. So when that credit card comes due, say you spent $100 on groceries you didn't have this week, so you put it on a credit card. Well, if you don't pay it when it comes due, the whole $100, now you're looking at $150, $200, depending on what your interest rate is when you finally do pay it off. That's why at one point in time, people, when credit cards were first kicking off, people were filing bankruptcy to get rid of credit card debt. And I know that a lot of laws came into effect where you can't do that anymore. A lot of your credit card companies, by law, won't let you get debt relief. They make you pay it.
Now there's I don't know if a lot of people have seen this, but if anybody uses Instacart or if you shop on the Walmart app and you have the groceries delivered, sometimes they will offer Klarna or Afterpay, and that's where you make biweekly or monthly uh, payments on that. That can get you in trouble as well. What if you get paid every 2 weeks and then when that you just got paid and you don't get another paycheck, but that Klarna payment or that after
Yep.
payment is due the week you don't get paid?
Now, Sarasota Beach Bum, he brings up a good point. The mortgage on a $300,000 home is probably cheaper than renting. I can agree with that. What do you think, D?
It depends on who your broker is, who your lender is, and what interest rates you get.
I mean, have
So
you checked renters prices here lately? I mean,
no.
I don't know what Lisa's paying for rent there in the villages, but I can just about bet it's upwards of anywhere from $12 to $2,000 a month. I don't know what she pays, but just that general area, I would say safely she's paying between 1,200, and that's a low bar, between
Mm,
$12 and $2,000 a month in that area where she's at. 'Cause, I mean, have you guys seen the body cam footage? Those homes are nice. They are very nice.
so it just blows my mind. I understand people are trying to keep a roof over their head, but at the same time, they're trying to feed their families.
Right.
So I get that, but are you just not adding insult to injury when you keep putting things on a credit card? I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I could. I would something would have to give if it came to that point. I don't know what I would do. I mean,
Well, my dad, he beat it in my head my entire life. If you can't make your house payment or your rent payment on one paycheck, you don't need to be living there. Uh,
exactly.
and I've held to that for years. I've held to that. And yeah, it might not be the best place that you want to live, but hey, it's better than, getting yourself in debt to where you can't ever dig yourself out of it. Because in today's society, it takes 1 week for a lot of people losing a paycheck and they're homeless.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
why put yourself in that position just because you want to live like the Joneses? I mean,
Right.
my house is an old farmhouse. Why did we buy this house? Because we have plans. The minute this thing's paid off, we're going to remodel it. Okay. And we'll probably sell it and go somewhere else. But at this point in time, yes, it's an old house, but it's got good bones.
Right.
And,
Right.
what we paid for this house, we invest 30, 40 grand into it when it's paid for, have it totally remodeled. Now you're looking at it with the way prices are in this area. Now you're looking at this house being worth triple what it is now.
Right. Yeah, all it takes is just to, you know, figure out what you want to do, how you're going to approach it, and how you're going to attack the problem. Do I want to stay here and do a complete blowout on it and remodel, or do I want to just do a little bit at a time and stay here and then sell it, see what the market's like in a year and a half or 2 years? It depends on what your goal is. What goals have you set for yourself?
Right. I'm not getting younger. So, this thing will be paid off right now. When June 1st hit, we're exactly 1 year and 6 months and this place will be paid completely.
Right.
It'll be ours. Uh, the guy we're buying it from, he is so cool. We consider him a close friend. He is just awesome. He said, look, the minute you make your last payment, however you make it, we will go down to the courthouse. I'll sign it over and it's yours. Boom. Because see, we're
Awesome.
not behind on any taxes because our mortgage, we include the taxes and the
Hmm.
insurance for this house every
Escrow.
month.
It's like
Right.
escrow.
Well, yeah, sort of like that. So
Yeah.
when we pay this thing off, everything's paid up. We're not behind on anything. So he's kept the insurance up on it. He's kept the taxes up on it. Oh, that's another thing that I want to talk about. Right down the road from where I live, there's a huge lake. It's a beautiful lake and it's got a country club on it. but it's
Right.
not a country club in the sense that you think, D. It's a public.
Okay.
It's the city owns it.
Oh,
And
okay.
it used to be where everybody during the summer went swimming, and then if they had like weddings or something, they would have weddings in the building part of it, and then it had a little park. Well, here 2 years ago, they decided to remodel the whole park.
Right.
So they tore down everything, and now it's a brand spanking new. I mean, everything is beautiful.
Wow.
And our taxes, I think I told you about this the other day. Our taxes went from, we bought this house, we were paying about 500 ish dollars a
Uh-huh.
year. Now we're paying close to $2,000 a year in taxes. But here's the kicker. Now they're saying if you live in city limits, you don't have to pay for parking. You can enjoy the park all you want. But if you don't, if you're from another town, you have to pay for parking, which is not that expensive, but you have to pay.
Right.
Come to find out, since the road just 2 blocks up, this side of it where I live is considered county. It's not considered city.
Hmm.
So they're trying to tell me that I have to pay for parking. But
Oh,
yet
wow.
I'm paying those high taxes for that park. So why do I have to pay for parking?
Now, are you in city or outside limits?
I'm
Outside.
outside. I'm considered outside of. I'm in the city, but where the lines are drawn, I'm
Oh, wow.
2 blocks outside. I'm considered county instead of city. But yet, city, I pay city taxes
Huh.
because when they started building this thing, everybody's taxes within. I'm in county, but the neighborhood I live in, the majority of it is in city.
Wow.
So I'm having to pay city taxes, but yet they're saying I have to pay for parking at the new park that I helped pay for.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane. I'm waiting. I am waiting because see, they usually have a couple cops sitting down there. I am absolutely waiting for one of them guys to say, "Hey, look, you have to pay for parking," because they run your tags when you pull in. It runs your
Right.
tags, and I'm
Wow.
waiting for one of them to say, "Hey, look, you've got to pay for parking," and I'm going to tell him, "No, I live 3 blocks. Well, not 3 blocks. I live about 4 blocks from that park.
Right.
I helped pay for that park, so." It's going to be funny. It's really going to be funny. I mean, we don't go there that often. If I do go down there, I have my kayak and I'll put it up on its wheels
Uh-huh.
and I'll just pull it down there. I'll walk down there. That's how close I live. I don't take the truck and the car down there that often. So if I want to go fishing or I want to go swimming, I just walk down there. It's
Okay.
gives me a little exercise. That's how close it is. I mean, you step out in the road right outside the house, you can see the lake. It's just
Oh,
straight down the
wow.
street. Uh, we've got two of them that I can walk to. You got Lena, and then you got Ariana. So
Okay.
yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what's Big Al got to say about this. What do you say? I would go to your county auditor and fight those taxes. Uh, I really don't care about the taxes because it is a beautiful park now. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. I don't mind paying for it, but I'm not going to keep paying for it, being as I've already paid for it as far as paying for parking. You know what I
Right.
mean? It
So
ain't
what if
happening.
what if you don't park? What if you just decide to, let's say you have an igloo cooler or whatever on wheels and you pull it down there. Let's say you and mama want to go there and just spend the day and then enjoy the lake view, or watching other families have fun or what have you, and you go fish or whatever. Do they
I
charge
don't.
you to
No,
walk down there?
no.
It's
It's
only for
just
you
for
and your mom.
cars.
Oh my
See,
god.
here's the problem that they had. It's a town park, okay, and it's a good lake because this lake has been home of jet skiers, fishermen, and boaters ever since I was a kid. Okay, I mean all of your what park was that? All of the skiers that used to be at SeaWorld that did all the ski shows. This is
Okay.
where they trained. They trained on this lake. So this lake is not new to having boaters. But what they are new to is over the past 10 years, people from other towns come here to ride their jet skis and enjoy the park. and
Okay.
it was getting to the point to where there were a lot of fights going on between locals and out of towners. So when they rebuilt the park, they put in the pay to park, trying to keep some of the people from out of town from coming here.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to get it back to where the people in town can enjoy the park, and the people out of town aren't taking over. Everything was fine and dandy until all the trouble started. When all the
Oh,
trouble started from the out of towners coming from Lakeland and Plant City and Winter Haven, uh, it these people are jet skiers. Okay, so they're kind of a wilder bunch, I guess you could say.
okay.
And well, there would be some conflicts because a lot of these idiots, they don't really know the boating laws, and
Oh,
they do some reckless stuff. And you've got small kids that are
right.
trying to swim with their parents, and even though technically you're not supposed to swim in the lake, because see, when I was a kid, they had lifeguards, and
Okay.
the lake was for swimming. Well, while I was gone, they took the lifeguards out and told everybody, you're not allowed to swim there, but people did anyway. Well, now it's the same thing. Even though it's been rebuilt, they still have signs up, no swimming, but they don't really enforce it. How
Okay.
can they? These people are out there on jet skis. They're in the water. Jet skis and swimming go hand in hand. So,
Well, if the jet skiers see people in the water, they would think, okay, hey, we're going to, stay at least 100 yards away from that area so we don't disturb them. And, the swimmer is saying, well, I'm not going to swim out an extra 100 yards to bother them either. So it just makes sense, you know, show some
well,
respect to one another.
the problem is all of the jet skiers, they don't have anywhere to park their jet skis except on the beach. Okay.
Oh,
Well, where are the people at? On the beach. So
gotcha.
when they're playing on their jet skis, this lake is flipping huge. I mean, it is huge. But instead of going out into the lake and playing, they want to play right close to the edge. There's mama. They want to play right close to the edge. And so you got all these kids swimming, and these jet skiers are maybe 30 yards, 40 yards from all these kids, and they're creating the wakes and the waves,
Right.
and it's rolling up to the shore, and you've got all these small kids, it's creating a problem. Well, then that's when the parents of the kids start yelling at the jet skiers, and then the jet skiers are yelling at the other people, and that causes a problem.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's where the pay to park came in.
Okay. Right. Well, is that really going to alleviate the problem? I mean, making them pay to park there is I don't see that
Oh, well, in my
alleviating.
opinion, it has.
Oh, it has?
Because yeah, it has. Because used to, now that the park has been redone, it's a different beast now. It's kind of set up a little different. Over on one side of it has a very huge parking lot, but that's for the country club part of it. On the other side, where you had the pavilions and the playground and where you launch your boat and everything, it's gotten smaller.
Oh,
So you can't have as many jet skis in there now as what they used to, unless you put it in and you go park your car somewhere far away. They just
gotcha.
don't have anything close. I mean, at any given time, there would be 50 to 100 jet skis in this little tiny park when it was older. Now that it's been remodeled, you might see 10, 15, maybe 20. So, yeah, it's cut down on the amount of jet skiers there.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
Huh.
you
That
ready to get
that
into Mackenzie?
sure.
All right, chat. We're going to get into what this whole show is all about today. We're going to get into Mackenzie, the car crash girl. What is her name again? Shirilla?
Shirilla.
Mackenzie Shirilla. Uh, the first video we're going to start off for, it came out a day ago, and it's about 102 text messages between her and her man that
Oh,
is
there's
now
more?
deceased. Yeah.
There's
And
more than there was the 32 or the 31?
right. And then
Oh
now
gosh.
I've got another one that came out just, 14 hours ago or so, and it's about the POTS, the
Okay.
POTS disease that they claim she
Right.
has.
Exactly.
This first one, I think it's only like 19 minutes long. It's not very long. So we'll get into that. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. All right. Ooh, I got to get us up on the screen there. And did I have that turned off the whole time?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. All right.
I
Sorry, guys and girls.
I thought you did it on purpose. That's the reason why I didn't say anything.
I forgot about it. I forgot about it. All right, boys and gals, let's get into this. This is 102, I think it is. All right. All right.
We're turning now to something that we haven't yet tackled on our coverage
Can you
of the
hear it?
Mackenzie Shirilla case.
Yes.
The text messages between Dominic Russo and this convicted murderer. And I'm going to read you a bunch of these communications, and it's important. It's important because understanding that dynamic, understanding this relationship is key to trying to make sense of what happened here, to trying to make sense of Shirilla's arguments that she didn't do this on purpose. And I want to put this into context with what I'm talking about, because Mackenzie Shirilla was found guilty by a judge in a bench trial, meaning that a judge decided her guilt or not guilty. She was found guilty by a judge in a bench trial of 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools, all in connection with the July 31st, 2022 car crash that killed her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and their friend, Davion Flanagan. The 17-year-old mashed down the accelerator, never tried to brake. This is according to investigative reports.
Lane's wife. Yes, I did. Thank you. Thank you for sending that.
Sailing over a curb, through a business sign, and into a brick wall. And Shirilla has insisted ever since that she had no memory whatsoever of the crash or even the time, the minutes leading up to it. She and her family have suggested that she has a diagnosis of POTS.
Look at all that money.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
My gosh.
Now, guys, these pictures were taken before she was 18 years old.
You know, if I was mom, I'd say, honey, where did you get all of that money?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I'd be asking.
What were you doing?
You know what it seems, what it looks like to me, she's posing for a video, for a rap video or something.
Wow. That's all I got to say about that. And is
Love
that,
life.
and I'm guessing that's Dominic behind the $100 bills.
I want to say it is, but then again, it could be a girl. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not real sure. But yeah, hey, guys and gals, before I forget about it, we got 305 of you in here. So please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. For all you guys on replay, please hit the like button. Teach old ScrewTube to send us out into the interwebs. All right, let's get back into this.
This medical condition that can cause dizziness, fainting. They claim Shirilla must have blacked out, which is why she drove off the road. I will be clear about this at trial. There was no official medical diagnosis of POTS. Wasn't presented. There was no evidence of a car malfunction. There was no presentation of her being severely intoxicated. And after her 2023 trial, she was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole starting in 2037. But now she's back in the news a lot, because of the Netflix documentary, The Crash, where she goes on camera. She does this interview from behind bars.
That's right, D. I was wondering what got this back in the public's eye. Why all this new stuff was coming out. It's because of that documentary. That's why.
A lot of things more things came forward. People were sitting on it because they were like, oh, well, this is just how it is and nothing's going to, come from it.
Let me fix this real quick before we. There. All right.
And she says she's not a monster, that there was no intent, that she loved Dom. But there is evidence of her driving recklessly in the past. There was an account, a narrative that she would get into fights while driving. There was evidence that she didn't seem remorseful after what she did. So prosecutors essentially made the argument that she intentionally crashed the car, especially considering there was evidence that Dom was trying to break up with her just weeks before. But there were also messages from Shirilla to Dom where she claimed she was the victim of Dom. For example, there were messages from Shirilla to one of Dom's family members in the past, and I'm going to read you some of them, and then we'll get to the communications between Dom and Shirilla. But for example, there's this one where Mackenzie writes this family member, quote, "Can you come get Dom? He just grabbed my steering wheel on the highway trying to spin out my car and hurt me. TBH, I can't calm down when he just tried to end my life. He tried to end my life today and told me, do you want to die?" So I want to get into these messages between Dominic Russo and Mackenzie Shirilla pre-crash, okay? And this is from years before too, and relatively shortly before this event took place, and what these messages might tell us. There was a Celebrite cell phone extraction compiled by investigators that revealed all of these text messages between the couple going back years, all the way back to January 2020. Thousands upon thousands of messages between the couple, who again appeared to have this very toxic on again, off again relationship. And I do want to highlight just some part of the conversations that the pair had. We can't go through everything, but
let me turn that on for you guys. I forgot. D, you didn't remind me.
Oh.
The closed caption. Because you liked that, didn't you? Where you could read it?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll turn that on. All right. Get back to where we were. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So they've compiled all this evidence and now it's starting to leak out.
Right. And see, these are pre-crash. So this is, what did he say, going back to 2020, 2021?
Yeah.
So
if they did the investigation, how did this stuff get leaked?
Well, he said Cellbrite. So Cellbrite pulled in all of the text messages. So they've had these text messages by using Cellbrite, but they just used what they needed at the trial to show, I guess, that she was, I don't know, that they had problems and things were on again, off again. There was some it was possibly a toxic relationship, I guess.
So is Cellbrite like, they're not law enforcement?
No, Cellbrite is a company that law enforcement uses to obtain text messages. It doesn't matter if you delete those text messages, they're not deleted.
So they're not held to the same standard as a law enforcement person would be held to?
No, they contract them out and say, hey, we need every text message or every cell tower this phone pinged off of during this time frame. We need it all. So they subpoena them, they gather all this information, and then they have to sift through it. So
wow.
They've done this in other trials too. They've gathered Cellbrite information.
All right, cool.
Check out, by the way, if you're interested in looking at the full conversations, all the text. I think there's nearly 32,000 pages of them.
Holy shit.
Now, all of that is available on the Law and Crime Plus app. We have a Mackenzie Shirilla case file. You can check it all there if you're interested. But right now, I want to highlight some of the text messages. And by the way, these are just text messages, even though the couple seem to have also communicated on social media apps like Instagram and Snapchat. And by the way, I should tell you, these messages were entered into evidence during her actual trial. Reportedly, over 93,000 text messages were entered into evidence. Welcome to the digital age. Welcome to a young relationship, right? So Shirilla's text messages, they show up as green. Dom's are in blue. We're going to put them up there as I go through them. And toward the top of the file in January of 2020, Shirilla sends these messages. And it already starts to give you an idea of the dynamic of the relationship at the time. Quote, "No? Why aren't you saying, oh, you look so good, Kenzie? Why are you being like that?" Quote, "Don't drag me down. Hype me up." Now, a lot of the couple's texts during this time period, they center around Shirilla seemingly wanting to spend all of her time, all of her free time with Dom. And she seemingly texts him over and over about when they can hang out, when she could come to his house, when they could go to get food. But in these exchanges, Dom, I think an argument could be made, seems to be wanting a little more space. And that is what led to conflict. That is what leads to a blowout. For example, this is from January 14, 2020. Quote, "Let me come in," sad face. Quote, "No, from now on, you just got to go home after school, my B." Another one, "And probably can't come before school." Shirilla replies in all caps, "What? You can do this to me." Then corrects herself, "Can't, you can't." Dom replies, "If I asked you to go home, you would have threw a fit anyway." Then there's a series of messages in all caps from Shirilla. "You're mean. You treat me like S. And I treat you like a bleeping god. And you do this." Dom goes on to say that it feels like she's smothering him, to which Shirilla responds, "I just want to bang my head on the wall till I'm dead." Dom replies, "To be honest, this S has happened so many times, I just don't care anymore."
All right. This brings me back to yesterday or Tuesday when we did the dad's interview. You remember that, D?
Right.
All right. The dad had made a comment about this being her first major love. Remember that?
Yes.
All right. So this is where the psychotic crap comes in. I'm sure that the boy has had several girlfriends,
Right.
but remember, they have been dating been together for 4 years. That put her, I think, at 13 years old at the time,
Right.
wasn't it? Yeah,
Right.
13, 14. So this is her first major love. So she's going to be psychotic. What girl or boy, when they have that first, serious crush,
Right.
when they break up, it's hard. I
Right.
can remember my first one. Everybody has that first one, but this girl, personally, I think she's acting like a typical teenager. I
Right. Her
mean,
first crush, her first love. She's trying to keep his attention any way she knows how. That's what this is, comes across as.
right.
And it's just, how old would she have been in 2020? So she would have been 13, right?
This happened in what, 2021
Yeah,
or
no,
2022?
2020, from the Cellbrite records, it looks like it's 1/14/2020. So
Yeah.
she would have been 13, maybe.
Well, when did the crash happen? Because she was
Okay. She might have been,
17, 18 the next day.
so she may have been
Uh,
16.
so she may have been, yeah, like you said, she may have been 16 years old.
Okay.
But we do know that she was with the guy for 4 years.
Right.
So she was 18 when this crash happened. That put her at 14. Yeah, 14. Dating this guy, and he's what, 3 years older than her, something like
Mhm.
that. 3 or 4 years older than her. So yeah,
Right. So
she's
maybe he was trying to put some distance, because maybe he's like, okay, I can't deal with this, because it's a text every 5 minutes, and it starts when she gets up, and then she wants to do this, and then it keeps going throughout the whole day, and I can't do what I need to do, type thing. So yes, maybe uh, Jesse Weber was right by saying felt like he was being smothered, and he needed
well.
some space.
You also got to think of it like this: he's fixing to hit 21. So
Hmm.
once he hits 21, his whole world opens up. And does he want somebody under 21 dragging him down? Because I mean, I think it's hard. It's bad to say this, but it's just reality. He's not a bad looking kid. He's young. He's athletic. He's looking at being able to go places legally when he hits 21. Even at 20, he's able to go places that 18-year-olds can't go. So when he hits that 21, he's going to be chained down with an 18-year-old.
Right. And who's to say that maybe he was talking to another girl that was around his age,
Right?
and
Could be. Could be.
don't know.
All right.
And despite, by the way, still being in high school, Shirilla does eventually move in with Dom in a home that his mother owns next to her own. And during a conversation at the end of January, it seems that Dom and Shirilla are both at his house, but possibly, in different rooms.
Oh, no wonder he's got money. You just hear that? In a house that his mother owns.
Okay.
I thought they were living in an apartment.
No, no, it's a house. So, but that still doesn't account for, I want to see if Dominic if he has a record, if
Right.
that, because of all the accusations that was made by the father in his
Well,
interview.
you remember yesterday we were trying to figure out, he doesn't have a job. So how's he afford to live? Now we know mommy and daddy owns the house.
Right.
Texting each other because Shirilla begs him to give her, quote, dabs, which by all accounts seems to be a concentrated form of cannabis. Quote, I swear if you don't leave, I'm a flip S. I'm leaving. I just need dabs, babe. And the response in all caps, I don't have any. Now, something this compilation of conversations reveals is just how on again, off again the two were over the years. They would break up constantly, then they would get back together just as quickly. And remember, both are very young. They're teens when they met. Shirilla was 17, had just graduated high school when the crash happened. And on the other hand, it's understandable why emotions would be running high, but at times it just appears from the messages alone, and I don't, have personal knowledge of their relationship, but just looking at the messages, and sometimes messages can be quite revealing, it seems like things were out of control at points. I mentioned the conversations before where Shirilla is messaging a family member, but look at this. For example, here's a conversation between the pair from March 2020. Dom says, I don't like dealing with all this, babe. Shirilla responds, all I ask is for like 3 things. No girls, hang with me, and affection. None of them are hard to do. If you can drive around all day on random...
What you got to say?
No girls, hang with me all day so he can't have any friends. So he can't hang with his guy friends. He can't, play video games with his guy friends or do whatever guys do. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to come down on the girl, okay, for that. Because it's not a girl thing. There's guys that act this way too. Okay.
Well, I understand that.
So, but
But
I'm not saying it's okay for them to do it. I mean, I wasn't going to, when I said I'm not going to come down on her, I mean, I'm not going to crucify her for being who she is. Do I agree with it? No. But what I was trying to get at is it's not a girl thing. There's guys that absolutely lose their mind too,
right. No, I get that. But you can't dictate who your boyfriend or your girlfriend hang out with in their free time.
No. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
To me, that's a deal breaker.
I've seen people that are exactly like her. Okay. I know people that, and it's hard to believe, at my age, I can remember what it was like being a teenager. And there were a lot of this going on. I mean, not unaliving their mate, but a lot of this behavior that she's doing, I saw a lot of that when I was a kid. Because if you guys remember, there wasn't any internet when we were kids. So we had dial-up telephones. So I can just imagine in today's society how much worse it probably is with all of the technology we have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rob says, which means she was a COVID teen. Most of them had their first love via internet and little in personal interaction in prime early teen years. Right on. Thank you for the comment there, Rob. Thank you, my friend. I always get him mixed up. Rob and Bob. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Slurs time, then you can find a way to see me. You do so many harder things in your life. Dom replies, I think we need some time apart. And then she appears to go off on a rant saying, Dom, stop right now. Answer the phone. We not doing that again. We not going on a break. Text back like you're not going to do this to me. Get off. Do not disturb. We are not going on a bleeping break, Dom. I do so much for you. And you say that. Now, the very next day, Shirilla sends another long string of messages. Hey, babe, what you doing now? Dom? Answer, Dom. Wow, I'm mad. Answer right now. I'm so mad. Dom sends this response, low battery. So now I want to jump ahead in time a little bit. Summer 2021. So about a year before Shirilla drove her car into the side of that brick building, killing her boyfriend, killing their friend, Mr. Flanagan. Shirilla and Dom
16.
are in the middle of another fight in these messages where Shirilla says, I'm seriously done. I do not want to see you. If you're done over that small inconvenience, then okay, fine, so be it. Okay, Mr. Gaslighter, I don't need you to tell me what's small or big. She continues, you can figure out your own way to the graduation party tonight. I'm seriously done. Why are you done? Because I didn't give you free weed? And this is another example of Dom apparently being, Shirilla's connection.
Oh, so he said that to her.
Mm-hmm.
The free weed thing.
To get marijuana. She, by the way, had cannabis in her system or THC in her system at the time of the crash. And she would often, post videos and photos online of herself appearing to smoke weed, use bongs. There was even an allegation that she was doing it while driving. Now, later in that same conversation, Shirilla writes, why would I want to go on vacation with someone that can't even give me 1 gram free weed? I want to fast forward. This time I want to go to January of 2022. So by this point, at least
here's an idea, D. Maybe she's young. She's 16 years old at the time these conversations are going on, and she's wanting free weed. Maybe that's her way to influence people around her.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of her friends. That's how she's getting her friends. You know what I mean? Hey, I got weed. Let's go. I got some weed.
Maybe.
In our opinion, the dynamic between Mackenzie Shirilla and Dominic Russo seems to have changed, because I think there could be an argument that at this point, Mackenzie Shirilla seems very aggressive, dismissive.
All right. I got to ask you, D. I know that you don't have fingernails like this. Okay.
Absolutely not.
I doubt that you've ever had fingernails like this.
No.
My question is, you're a female and you know about these long nails things, not by personal experience, but probably how in the hell can you live a normal life with fingernails this long?
I just want to know, how does she wipe her ass?
I'm glad you said that. I wasn't going to go there, but that's the question I had for you.
Because those things are like daggers.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and my dad, I don't understand it. Are they? Can you take them off and put them back on?
I don't know. How much did those things cost?
I mean, like when you go to the bathroom, can you just pop them off, do
No,
your
I don't
business,
think
and then
so.
pop them back on? Or are they?
I don't.
I
I
don't
don't.
see the attraction with that. It makes me wonder how nasty this girl is.
I don't know.
I got you all flustered.
I mean, no, seriously, you could put your own eye out with those things.
Right. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know. To each his own, I guess. I don't understand it myself. As a woman, as a female, maybe you can enlighten me on what's going on with that, but I have no idea.
I don't know. Mine are, I keep mine very, very short. I mean, they're not like short, but they're right to the very, the tip of your finger.
Yeah.
Mine, I won't let my nail grow past that tip of my finger. I keep them very short due to cleaning, cooking, digging in a garden, typing, all of that stuff.
Right. I mean, me, I work it. I work with my hands a lot. So yeah, my fingernails, they're kind of short. They're just right to the tip of my fingers. But that's only because if I don't keep them short, I hate nothing worse than to break a fingernail when you're trying to pull a screw or a nail or something.
Right.
Anyway, let's get back to it.
And I think you can make the argument mean. I'm going to give you an example. Shirilla writes, Dom, I would start texting right now, unless you want problems. Because you're acting weird as F, I would start typing. Dom responds, I'm not. She writes, like right now. He says, you're also acting heated as F. But Shirilla steamrolls ahead. I would start explaining right now. I ain't going to try to talk to you when you're mad. Because you're not telling me after I asked 780 times. You have 5 minutes. And there are multiple times during this argument, or there are arguments that Shirilla says she's setting a timer on her phone to some arbitrary number. And if Dom...
Oh, there we go. You see that, D? Becky? Becky said, my friend had nails like that. And she said she wraps TP around them.
Absolutely not. No.
I would be scared that they would break them. I mean, those... It requires a little bit of pressure to take care of your business down there. So I would think that they would break. Okay, we're going to get off that subject.
doesn't respond or hasn't done what she wanted by the time it went off, they were done. And there are also times that Dom brings up Shirilla's social media presence because she posted on Instagram and TikTok quite frequently, often in these seductive outfits and these poses. The two had this conversation in January of 2022. Quote, like, I just want to understand why you post like that. Like, I know, look cute, but I feel like you can still look cute without posting as provocative. Like, I for real want to understand. Every other dude would be coming at you aggressive as F2. For real, I'm being cool, and you're being immature by just hanging up on me. Later on in the conversation, Mackenzie Shirilla wrote, if you can't handle the bad B, then bleep and leave. I don't care. Like, what the bleep? Don't try to make me insecure because you are. She also said at one point, you were doing so good this morning too. Like, what the bleep? And this is important too. There are instances where the two talk about Shirilla allegedly driving drunk. Because you have one back and forth. She says she's scared. Quote, I'm driving home to you. Dom says, oh, you drunk? Why you scared? She responds, in the hood. And I'm a little drunk. This is his advice. Drive patient, but get to where you need to go and you'll be fine. Don't look at no one and don't draw attention. No one is going to do anything.
Why is she drunk at 16 years old?
I don't know. I thought, okay.
And driving?
I thought that Dad said pot was the only thing she did and he was okay with it. And yeah.
Yep.
Pretty scary to think about a teenage driver with little experience driving while drunk and also texting. I want to talk about this. July 2022. So by the end of the month, Dom would be dead. Davion would be dead. Shirilla would be in the hospital. And she would have serious injuries, claiming she couldn't remember anything about the crash or what happened beforehand. Again, the insistence that she must have blacked out. So here's a long string of messages from Mackenzie Shirilla from July 2nd. Again, this is just weeks before what happened. Quote, you're a liar and will always be one, smiley face. Can't keep a single promise you make. You don't take relationships seriously. You think this is some game. You're messing your life up, and you're going to be real embarrassed when you see. So yes, I will be back tonight. I'm the only one keeping this relationship together. If you want any chance of this relationship working, you will start giving effort and well thought out responses fast. Dom responds, Kenzie, I'm not arguing with you. It's a waste of life. 2 minutes later, she sends him a photo, although it's kind of hard to tell what's a picture of. He voices his frustration that she seems to want to end things, but then starts talking to him again like things are normal. And during that same conversation, just 4 weeks before Dom's death, he wrote these chilling words, there isn't very much time on earth. In fact, this is the message I want to focus on, okay? The breakup communication. Kenzie, you know I love you, but I don't think we should be together at this point. There isn't very much time on earth, you know? I'd like to think we could stop fighting, but it's a breakup fight every week. Neither of us deserve that. I don't want to fight all the time. I know you don't either. Anyone who's around anyone every day of the week is bound to fight. If we can't separate for a little, then we're only going to fight more. I don't want you to think I'm abandoning you. I wish it could work, but I don't think it's going to at this point, especially with the threats. We should just break up so we can both find happiness somewhere else. And that text was apparently followed up by another just a few hours later.
Now, we watched that one.
Right.
They read this one here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. I think that was probably some of the most damning evidence they had.
Right. So if he needed space, which I think is good in any relationship, you don't want to be up each other's ass 24/7 because that's going to cause problems.
I mean, the dad sits there and says, oh, they have no evidence. I'm sorry, but all of these text messages shows a clear pattern of obsessive behavior, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's not a hard leap to jump to the fact she did what she did on purpose.
Well, we still don't know the other side to the story of what transpired in that vehicle. We
Right.
don't have the other answers to it. Just like a lot of people are saying in the chat that he was just as bad as she is. Well, I'd like to see the evidence to that.
Well,
would like
they're showing the mess.
text.
Are we seeing all of them though? Or are all of these like in a row? Where they're not just picking and choosing? Because it seems to me that they're playing hers and his response.
But you see, he jumped ahead to 2022 just
Right.
prior to the crash. So what's the other things? What other things, what else happened? So, like I said, there's 3 sides to every story. There's yours, there's mine, and then there is the truth.
Right
So
on.
we're only hearing her side and what they are choosing to show.
Right on. All right. We're almost done with this one.
Later, asking Shirilla if she wants to try to work things out. And what was it, just 2 weeks later, there was another important incident that happens. According to witnesses, Dom was on the phone with Mackenzie when Mackenzie threatened to crash the car they were in. According to Shirilla, Dom was the one who grabbed the steering wheel and said that he would cause a wreck. They fought over what happened in a follow-up text conversation. And it's really shocking given what we know happens just several days later. Quote, if you can't see what's broken and what needs to be fixed, then there's no point of this being a relationship. Yesterday, you almost ended my life or could have ended my life, and all your mom cared about was you not going to jail. Like, I'm literally never going to talk to your mom again unless she apologizes. By the way, we did a whole sidebar episode on this after the death of Dom and Davion. Mackenzie writes Dom's mom a lot.
Yeah, we saw that. That was Tuesday.
Yeah.
There is a lot of communication back and forth. You can check out that sidebar episode up on our YouTube page. But again, responding to this conversation, Dom says, I didn't try to do anything. To which she responds, one more reply that is not trying to fix this, I'm blocking you. Give me one more bleeping reply that doesn't reply to anything and see what happens. I'm just saying I didn't try to kill us. I was definitely not trying to do that. And they go around in circles for a while with Shirilla saying, if you're incapable of fixing anything that you caused yesterday and you can't apologize, I know what you did wrong and how to prevent this ever happening again, then I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to be with an abuser. And Dom says, I did apologize. He reiterates, I wasn't trying to end anyone's life. You should believe that. Shirilla says, why would I believe it when you did it? How can I believe that you're never going to do that again? I can't because I don't know your limit. Somebody who loves me would never do that. Never. I couldn't even do it if you told me to. But I guess that's different for you. Dom later says, you can pull out a knife, say you're going to stab me. I'd stay with you. But Shirilla replies, I'm not going to keep wasting my time with somebody who thinks my life is disposable. I never thought you would ever do something like that to me. I thought you would always protect me, but we learn new things about each other every day. Dom responds, I would never try to kill you, LOL. And the final text messages in the report are from Shirilla to Dom on July 30th around 1:30 a.m.
This is going to be
telling him
interesting.
to turn something down or off because it was, quote, annoying and loud. So in the end, look, this is just interesting perspective, a sad perspective on what was maybe going on behind the scenes. that may have caused, may have contributed in some way to Mackenzie Shirilla's decision to deliberately crash that car. And remember, you can check out all of the text messages for yourself on the Law and Crime Plus app.
All right. Well, that one is done. What'd you think, B?
So we're just seeing one side, even though it's both of their text messages. We're just seeing one side that's being presented. So I would like, if anybody has anything on his behavior, on anything that can either corroborate what he is saying or to add context or to add more to this to show a broader picture, let Coop know.
Right. Email address going right across the bottom of the screen, guys. It's real simple. MrCoopShow@gmail.com. All lowercase.
Because from what we're seeing and what we're hearing, all fingers do point to her. Okay. Everybody, all of these other people who are pro Mackenzie, show me something different. Let's look at something different. Let's see it. Let's listen to it.
All righty.
If both people are the same, it's not going to, you're not going to gel well. You're not going to be able to have a cohesive relationship if both of you are exactly the same. You know?
All right. Real quick, guys, if you're having any lag in anything, just refresh your screens. It should clear it up. I know that Rumble has been giving people fits here lately. So if your sound is bleeping in and out, just refresh. Okay. It'll help clear things up. Same way on YouTube. Just go ahead and refresh and it'll help clear things up if there's anything, any kind of lag or anything with the sound or anything. All righty. Because I know that Tug and Megan were having problems last night. So remember that if you're having problems, just refresh and see if it fixes it. All right. Mr. Coop or D Spills, need to watch Rosalind. She is going to also doing this story. Oh, okay. I thought Rosalind was on vacation. Matter of fact, we're going to start this one off. This one's just a little bit longer, but it's not that much longer. It's like 22 minutes or so. I want to make sure that we're still going at the same. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and. Okay, that helps us a little bit. Come on. Right on. You ready, D?
Absolutely.
All right.
POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It is a medical condition that has come up quite a lot in the Mackenzie Shirilla case, the case that has captured the national attention, the case that has blown up on social media, the case that everybody has been talking about, the case that we have been focusing a lot here on Sidebar. But I want to explore POTS a little bit more. That is something we haven't taken the time to do. And I want to explore it because it was the defense that she put forward. So I want to explore it in the text messages between Shirilla. I want to explore how it was put forward in the trial, because at the end of the day, the convicted murderer has claimed that it was this condition that contributed to the crash when she drove a car 100 miles per hour into a wall, killing her two passengers, her boyfriend Dominic Russo and his friend Davian Flanagan. This is back on July 31st, 2022. Shirilla was found guilty by a judge in a bench trial of 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools.
She had a mission and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. She alone.
Look at that lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's sitting there freaking out. He's like, what?
Well, he's listening because he knows. I think he really didn't do her any justice.
No.
None whatsoever.
No. Like we were talking about the other day, him asking for a bench trial, I think that screwed her mortally. Because with a jury trial, she would have maybe found some sympathy out of some of those jurors.
Right.
I wholeheartedly believe that she did this on purpose. But, you know, like you said, D, we weren't in the car. We don't know, but she has been found guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
Decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day. And she alone made that decision for Dominic and Davion, and she continuously acted in a manner to achieve her purpose.
Yeah, the evidence showed she held that accelerator down, that she never tried to brake. Shirilla, though, has insisted ever since then she doesn't remember what happened. She didn't remember the crash. She didn't remember what led up to it. She and her family have suggested that this is POTS, this medical condition that can cause dizziness and fainting, that contributed to what happened, that she may have blacked out. Now, at trial, and we're going to talk about this more, there was no official medical diagnosis that was presented by her team. No medical expert took the stand. There was also no evidence of the car malfunctioning. There was no...
Now, why would you introduce a possible medical reason for what happened without having medical records, without having an expert witness, without having the doctor there that diagnosed her?
That's a very good question, because if you're going to bring that up and you're going to stand on it, you need to provide proof that that could have been a possibility of what happened.
Right.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, go get my doctor, go get this, here's that, here's everybody you need to call. I'll sign any paperwork for release of info, just to put it out there.
Presentation of a severe intoxication. So the evidence that was presented was essentially, or at least by the prosecution, that she did this purposely. And after her 2023 trial where she was convicted, she was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole starting in 2037. And now she's in the news a lot because of the Netflix documentary, The Crash, where she said she's not a monster, there was no intent behind this crash, that she loved Dom. One of the things she said in the documentary was, quote, "The most logical speculation seems to be a medical emergency." But when she was asked, okay, so how do you maintain control over the car if you're suffering this medical emergency, right? There's no braking. She responds, "I'm unsure because I have no recollection of that morning, but I know nothing about it was intentional because that's not in my character." I want to explore that a little bit. I want to explore, is there anything there? Now, in a little bit, I'm going to bring on Dr. Daniel Bober, a forensic psychiatrist, to analyze this. My understanding is he has actually treated patients with POTS. So when you hear what Shirilla has claimed, does it match up? Okay? But first, I want to do something different. I want to go through the text messages from Shirilla to Shirilla where it's interesting. We were trying to find messages that are about POTS. I mean, to be clear, we went through all these messages. We couldn't find anything specifically about POTS per se, but there are mentions of medical issues here. And is she describing POTS? And we're going to get to this later, but you listen to the dates of these exchanges in relation to the July 31st, 2022 crash. And for example, Mackenzie's mother, Natalie, would testify. We're going to talk more about this as well. But she would testify that Mackenzie was diagnosed with POTS in 2017. And yet, again, as far as we could see, there don't seem to be messages specifically describing this. But the symptoms that Mackenzie does seem to describe is this POTS. So let me give you an example of what I mean. From Shirilla, July 2nd, 2022, so this is just weeks before the crash, quote, "The one I just had was probably the worst blackout-like pain level I've had. I'm scared it's just going to get worse." Now, Dom writes to Shirilla on July 2nd, 2022, "But you can take vitamins that will help blood flow." Also another message from Dom, "What I'm saying is your blood vessels aren't working right to get enough blood to your brain. That's why you black out." Also from Dom, "Main causes of blackouts is blood flow. Let's try getting you vitamins that support that." Shirilla responds at one point, "So are you saying I'm vitamin deficient or something I don't even know?" Dom replies, "No."
So they're not talking about POTS. They're just talking about her being lightheaded, possibly passing out.
Yeah. So, but that's a symptom to POTS from what he stated previously, that it causes lightheadedness, dizziness, and you pass out. So that was what was introduced during court when everybody said, "Oh yeah, it could have been this. It could have been a medical emergency."
So she was never diagnosed with POTS.
Don't know.
Well, okay, the way they're talking in these text messages, they don't know what's wrong with her.
Apparently. I mean
I've gotten lightheaded. I've almost to the point that I've passed out. Does that mean I have POTS?
That could even be doesn't dehydration cause that as well?
Exactly. So to me, it's like, okay, she's going through these symptoms and she's been diagnosed with this before this crash happened. Why would they be talking about, she's talking like she doesn't even know what's going on. Mm-hmm. She's asking him to help fix her, take vitamins. Maybe it'll increase the blood flow to your brain and stuff like that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she's not been diagnosed with anything.
Why isn't she going to her doctor? That would have been my response. Have you talked to your doctor? Have your mom take you to the doctor.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. These blackout conversations were actually happening well before the crash. I'm talking years before. Look at this from February 8th, 2020. Shirilla writes, I had a really bad blackout today, FR. Dom writes, how? What happened? Shirilla, IDEK, meaning I don't even know, I straight passed out. And there's a lot of conversations about tests, which is interesting considering her mom would claim that she was diagnosed in 2017. But you go to 2021, for example, June 25th, 2021, Dom writes, when did you start feeling like S? Is it because you haven't ate? Shirilla responds, pretty much my back just started burning like super bad. April 29th, 2021, Shirilla writes, do you know how many times I've taken a test for them to tell me it's nothing? February 9th.
There you go, right there. So she's never been diagnosed with POTS, but yet her mother brings it up.
Right.
2021. It's hard to do anything when your stomach is in constant pain. February 18th, 2021, Shirilla again writes, I've taken every test in the book. No one cares about my pain. I don't even think anyone believes it. February 8th, 2021, if you told me you were in pain no matter what the bleep it was, I would be with you right by your side, ready to lay with you and do whatever you need. I guess you can't match that though. Again, this is Shirilla writing. March 18th, 2021, Shirilla writes, sorry babe, I had you just fall asleep. I literally couldn't even walk around. My back was in so much pain. February.
Oh, that's right, Dan Davis. I didn't even think about that. Low blood sugar does make you feel lightheaded and like you're going to pass out.
Oh, wow.
I know about that.
18th, 2021, Shirilla writes, everyone acts like I just want to curl up in a ball with a heating pad all day. Dom writes, are there better doctors that you can see? Shirilla responds, no doctors is going to be able to help. June 25th, 2021, Shirilla writes, then it got really bad and literally nothing was making the pain go away. And then all of a sudden I just threw up. March 3rd, 2022, Shirilla writes, they trying to put me on anxiety meds, like what the bleep? March 3rd, 2022, the doctor is telling me weed is bad for me. Now, I'm going to talk more about these text messages, and I want to get Dr. Bober's perspective on this to analyze what he makes of it and whether or not she is describing the conditions of POTS. But I want to go to the court for a second. I want to go to the appellate court, how they looked at what happened at the trial level, at the trial, regarding POTS, and whether Mackenzie Shirilla's conviction should be overturned. Remember, she appealed them. So this is from the appellate court, and they write, in their opinion, quote, Shirilla contends that the weight of evidence establishes that Shirilla and Russo's relationship was in a good place at the time of the fatal crash. Burlinghouse and Raja saw them shortly before the crash and did not report anything out of the ordinary. Others who knew Shirilla and Russo, Grolau, Shipley, Shirilla's mother, also testified that the two seemed to be in love. Shirilla points out that her POTS condition may have led to a medical issue that caused the accident, or she may have had some other medical emergency like a heart attack or seizure. Shirilla posited that the crash could have been caused by distracted driving or simple recklessness, contrary to the testimony of Detective Hazow that Shirilla often drove distracted or recklessly according to her social media. She argues that in light of all these possible other explanations, the manifest weight of the evidence weighs against the verdicts. Esther Sang testified.
Oh, wow. What do you think about that? We didn't see that.
No. Well, that
That's
was her appeal. Yeah, that was her appeal. So that is what the appellate court responded to the appeal.
So I'm assuming it was the first appeal, maybe?
Yes, probably.
So they were sticking with the POTS thing, even though she'd never been diagnosed.
Right.
Wow.
That she is employed as a trauma surgeon at Metro Health Medical Center. The party stipulated that Dr. Sang is an expert in the field of trauma medicine. Shirilla was examined on July 31st, 2022 after the crash. According to medical records, Shirilla reported pain, quote, everywhere. An exam determined that her airway was intact, her breathing and circulation were normal, and her pupils were reacting normally. She was alert and oriented. Shirilla's mother informed medical personnel that Shirilla had a history of POTS, which can cause a patient to have an unusually elevated heart rate. Medical personnel did not note any cardiovascular, neurological, joint, or muscle symptoms. No symptoms related to sleep disturbances, anxiety, memory loss, disorientation, inattention, or depression were noted. An electrocardiogram, which was performed, revealed that the electrical function of Shirilla's heart was normal. On cross-examination, presumably by the defense, Dr. Sang admitted that a blood oxygen level of 82 would be abnormally low for most people. Dr. Sang further admitted that a patient with POTS may experience dizziness or headache. Medical personnel evaluated Shirilla approximately 2 hours after the reported time of the crash. A person who has suffered a seizure or a mini stroke could possibly have recovered within 2 hours. So, namely meaning, hey, there's a reason that when she was evaluated, it didn't look like she had POTS or didn't suffer from POTS.
So they're trying to dig up all kinds of stuff. They're trying to say it was seizures. They're trying to say it was POTS. I think somebody said heart attack too.
Yeah, they're trying to throw everything into the bowl and stir it and see if it all mixes together and what comes out.
It's absolutely insane what these people. Well, I mean, you can't really blame them, D. I mean, they're trying to get her out of prison, so they're going to they're going to swing at the fences for anything they can get somebody to believe in. But at the end of the day, there was never a diagnosis ever of her being diagnosed with anything other than the fact that I think she just didn't eat enough. What do you think?
Well, who
I
knows?
mean, poor girl looks like she could eat 3 or 4 sandwiches and it still wouldn't give her a pound.
Right. I mean, she looks to me, she's very thin. She is very thin.
But I mean, to me, she looks so thin. It's on the verge of she's sickly. You know, like what do they call that? Anorexia, bulimia. That's she just at that age, she just looks too small.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, didn't somebody say she was trying to become a model?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think anorexia and bulimia go hand in hand with those models, don't it?
It used to. I don't know if it still does. I don't know if that's still a thing.
I have noticed that over time, you remember when we were younger, models were always those toothpick skinny women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they never reminded me of what real women that you saw daily ever looked like. I'm happy to the point to where now you're seeing a lot more models that look like normal everyday women instead of these just toothpicks.
Right. Twiggy is for an example. She was very thin.
And a lot, they've got the voluptuous women are coming out a lot now too.
Right.
So it's more, I think society's more acceptable or accepting than what it was, say, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else this guy's got to say.
Maybe there's an explanation for that. Court goes on to say, with respect to Shirilla's physical health, Natalie, again, this is Shirilla's mother who testified, has seen Shirilla suffer symptoms from POTS at least twice. Natalie described her understanding that the condition can cause low blood pressure and an increased heart rate and can cause someone to lose consciousness. On cross-examination, Natalie testified that Shirilla was diagnosed with POTS in 2017 at the Cleveland Clinic. Natalie could not remember the name of the doctor who made the diagnosis. Natalie took Shirilla to the doctor after Shirilla fell to the kitchen floor on one occasion. The doctors made the diagnosis and gave Shirilla salt tabs to treat the condition. Shirilla would take the tablets or eat a salty food, quote, as needed. Since the diagnosis, there have been a couple occasions where Shirilla would feel herself feeling low in salt or woozy and would sit down and eat some crackers or another salty food. Natalie admitted that she helped Shirilla apply for a driver's license twice since the POTS diagnosis was made, and neither time disclosed the condition. Natalie testified that Shirilla had experienced a POTS episode a week or two before the crash and reported that it was really bad and it hadn't been that bad in a long time, and she was scared it was going to get worse. Natalie admitted that she did not take Shirilla to a doctor or limit Shirilla's driving privileges. While Dr. Sang testified that it is possible that Shirilla could have suffered a medical emergency like a seizure or mini stroke while still appearing normal in the medical examination, other evidence makes this potential explanation seem unreasonable. For example, Shirilla denied having adverse medical conditions when applying for a driver's license both before and after the crash. Moreover, someone manually moved the gear shift back into drive after it was moved to neutral in the seconds before the crash. There was no evidence presented that any medical...
Yes, Rick, this is both of the videos we played today are on Law and Crime. If you search her name, Mackenzie Shirilla, it should be the first 2 videos that pop up. The first one we played was like a day ago, and this one was like just hours ago. So yes, they're both on YouTube.
Condition could have caused Shirilla to simultaneously lose the ability to take her foot off the accelerator or hit the brakes while also intentionally manipulating the gear shift. A distracted driving incident is also not consistent with the forensic evidence, which shows that Shirilla never took her foot off the accelerator even as the car hit a curb, went airborne, landed, and continued toward a brick wall. Shirilla argued her case to the trial court, and the court was permitted to reject any portion of the state's evidence or witness testimony that was inconsistent or otherwise unbelievable. We cannot say that this is the exceptional case in which the evidence weighs heavily against the court's verdicts. Okay, like I said, now I want to bring on Dr. Daniel Bober, forensic psychiatrist, to talk about this. Thank you so much for taking the time, sir. Let's start here. What exactly is POTS? What are the symptoms of POTS?
So POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And this is essentially a syndrome where when you stand up, your heart rate increases, but your blood pressure does not change. And the symptoms of POTS can be lightheadedness, tremulousness, fatigue, and actually passing out.
Now, did he just say it's when you stand up, D?
Yes.
So it's not something that just happens sitting down relaxed. You have to stand up for this to happen?
According to this doctor, yes, that's what he said.
Oh, so was she standing up in the car?
No, she was sitting down. You can't. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, she wasn't standing.
Out or fainting is somewhat uncommon. So normally you don't see that.
So the idea of blacking out, fainting, not remembering what happened, you're telling me uncommon in your experience if someone has POTS, or because it's because of POTS.
So very often POTS will co-occur with something called vasovagal syncope, where syncope, which is a transient loss of consciousness, does occur, and they do pass out. What's interesting about this case is that in true POTS, passing out is not a common thing to occur, and it's even less common in someone who is recumbent or sitting down as they would be when they're driving a car. Normally, you expect to see POTS symptoms in someone who is standing up.
Ah, there we go.
Right there.
So was she standing up in the car? I don't think
Nope.
so.
I'm so glad
I flustered you on that last one, didn't I?
You're fine.
you mentioned that, because that was the part that the past few weeks I've been trying to understand. Like, I understand that when I've been researching POTS, it's a lot about if you're standing up or in a position, you're walking, but sitting down in a car. Now let's play devil's advocate for a second, because I was always wondering, I was like, how can it be effective if you're sitting there? You're not. If someone's in a heated argument or they're angry and they're sitting and driving, could there be an episode of severe POTS where there is a complication and someone does get dizzy, or someone does get lightheaded, or someone does black out, driving in some sort of argument, just playing devil's advocate?
It's possible, but it's not probable, okay? You would have to have that occur at precisely the right time or the right moment, okay? And you wouldn't have purposeful movement. You couldn't steer a car. You couldn't accelerate or decelerate. You couldn't, turn on an angle. So if you're truly passed out and you've lost consciousness, you wouldn't be able to engage in these purposeful motor activities that she supposedly did.
Okay, so that blows their whole theory out of the water right there.
Yeah.
D, because she turned that curve, and when she turned that curve, she accelerated, and then she veered off the road. According to what this doctor just said, if she would have had that episode, it wouldn't have caused her to veer off the road towards the building. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. So technically she was alert. She had that vehicle under her control. It was under her control at the time of impact.
So I'm assuming what the doctor is saying, that if she had a POTS episode, she would have went limp.
Yes.
So if she would have went limp, she would have decelerated. Her hands would have probably fell off the steering wheel. She would not have been able to turn the steering wheel. Huh. Interesting.
Let me ask you this. Is it possible? Is it possible someone can have a POTS episode and they really don't have a memory? They don't have a memory of what happened?
If someone had a syncopal episode and they blacked out, it is possible during a blackout to lose your memory.
How do you treat people with POTS, by the way?
So there's different medications that you use. For example, one of them is called midodrine to try to treat it symptomatically. But the pathophysiology of POTS is very complicated. It involves the immune system, the cardiac system, the nervous system. It's a very difficult thing to treat. And as a psychiatrist, what I can tell you is that POTS frequently is comorbid with other conditions like depression, like anxiety, like somatization syndrome. And what somatization is essentially it's a physical expression of psychological distress. So people with POTS frequently do have psychiatric symptoms. And interestingly enough, females are affected 5 times the rate as males are.
And that's interesting when you think about Mackenzie Shirilla, right? There have been a conversation of, was she trying to kill herself during this episode? Was she, anxious? Was she depressed? I mentioned earlier what her mother had testified to or spoke about, that she took Shirilla to the doctor, that she had been diagnosed by the Cleveland Clinic in 2017 as having POTS, that the doctors gave her salt tabs to treat the condition and to eat salty food as needed. Does that make sense to you?
Well, certainly that would raise your blood volume, and that might be one of the things that would protect you against having these POTS symptoms. But I think, unfortunately for her, she wasn't really a very sympathetic figure based on some of her behavior after the crime. And I think in some ways she has become emblematic of the older generation, looking at the younger generation who has, essentially lived their lives through social media. And I think they interpreted a lot of her behavior as having a lack of remorse. So I do think there's a generational divide here in how older people view it and how people in the Gen Z generation view it.
There is no doubt the evidence against her was also not just about the accelerator and the gear shift and the way that the car was positioned and how it hit the wall. It was also evidence about, yes, how she behaved afterwards, showing this lack of remorse. So that's what the prosecutor said. And also there was evidence that she was staking out that road beforehand, right? It was the idea of planning it. So there was a lot here. Going back to the messages, and I went through that earlier, where she writes about having stomach pain and she writes about having back pain, according to her, very, very severe. Is that consistent with somebody who has POTS?
That is the somatization we talked about. People who have physical symptoms that are often an indicator of psychological distress. That could be somatization.
So in other words, if I'm understanding correctly, it's not outside the realm of possibility that she might have had POTS coupled with other conditions, but it would be unlikely, very improbable, that was the contributory factor for the crash at that moment in time. Just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly.
Yes, that's correct. Now, obviously, the appeal now is not based on guilt or innocence. It's based on things that are procedural. Was there ineffective assistance of counsel? If POTS was, in fact, at play here, did her defense counsel have an obligation to put on a medical expert, to bring up records, maybe to speak with her treating physician who was treating her for the POTS? These are all things that I think the parents would argue should have been done.
Do you think it was interesting they didn't call a medical expert?
I do, and I think...
Well, they didn't call anybody, D, because they didn't. She wasn't diagnosed. They had no doctor.
Right. You would think, being her defense attorney, you would say, well, what doctor did you see at Cleveland Clinic? What doctor prescribed this? Do you still have the medication bottle? What's the doctor's name? And you would go at it at that point.
I'll bet you anything. Just listening to the mother on the stand, I'll bet you anything that she pulled this out of the air somewhere and she didn't even bring it to that lawyer's attention. She just got up on that stand and started rattling it off. Because, I can't see a defense attorney worth their salt not trying to bring doctors on panel or not trying to bring experts in to talk about this and just I don't know. It seems like to me she came out of the blue and probably blindsided her own lawyer with this. What do you think?
Right. There's I still think that they should have disclosed everything. I don't think they disclosed everything to this attorney, and he thought that it should have been an open and shut case, right? So maybe that's the reason why he wanted the bench trial. He saw it as an easy win. So
I think he's been a Silverman. He wasn't given all of the information to actually defend his client. I think you're right. Most definitely.
It makes me think that at this point, sort of throw anything against the wall and see what sticks. It doesn't mean necessarily that POTS was not a factor here, but I do think it's curious that was never presented.
Throw anything at the wall and see if it sticks. Now, we know some lawyers doing that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a defense strategy from the beginning.
And again, unless someone can write me, say, you missed this, Jesse, I went through messages, and I didn't see text messages from Shirilla to Shirilla. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know, where over the years, she specifically addresses POTS. And if I'm right about that, is that strange? Because again, you have this kind of testimony about her being diagnosed with it, but at the same time, in her conversations about the pain she's experiencing, doesn't mention it. Is that strange to you? Or maybe is it possible she didn't know she had it?
It's strange to me, and also these are things I would want to know. How often did she see this doctor that was treating her POTS? What was the frequency of her visits? What did those records say about how active her symptoms were, or how frequently they occurred, or to what degree they impaired her life functioning? These are all important questions, but let's not forget here that this defendant is 17 years old, and it was the Supreme Court in Roper v. Simmons that recognized the relative immaturity and reduced culpability of people in this age group. And it doesn't mean she wasn't responsible, and it doesn't mean she shouldn't be punished. But there are, as what the Supreme Court said, evolving standards of decency and the recognition of the fact that people in this age group sometimes act without thinking, sometimes act without weighing the future consequences of their actions. And so I think we also have to look at it through that lens, as much as the behavior after the crime was off-putting to people.
And just real quick before I let you go, I don't know if you saw what she had to say in the documentary or how she behaved during the trial. I know you haven't had an opportunity to interview her yourself, but something stand out to you about her behavior, the way she acts? What do you take away from it?
Well, again, right, it's all how you tell the story. If you and I looked at it, we might find that behavior is callous, lacking remorse, cold, that she was unaffected by her actions. But in that generation, really does live their life on social media and spend an average of 3 to 4 hours a day doing it. That might be just business as usual. So it really depends on how you interpret it. but I do think that she didn't do herself any favors by behaving that way, given the implications of what she did.
Dr. Daniel Bober, thanks for coming on, giving your thoughts as always. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse.
And that's all we have here right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
All right.
So that doctor even agreed. Why wasn't any of this brought into question? Why wasn't any of it?
Yep. Because she was never diagnosed with it. That's why.
So that just blew that out the window. I guess they thought they would say it and then they would just run with it and it would absolve her of everything.
Yeah, I guess. I don't understand it myself. Like I said, I think that the mother came up with this out of the blue, and she didn't inform the defense attorney. Because I mean, if she had if I was the defense attorney, I would have had her doctor, her medical records. I would have had experts, everything, all fighting for the fact that she had POTS. But yet her lawyer didn't have anything, just what mother said.
Right. And you see, that's where you would have to question it. You would have to question, it'd be like, you can't say that on the stand because there's no medical evidence to support that claim.
Right.
And if there is, we need it today so we can back that up. But there was nothing. But I don't know. I don't understand.
Well, that's why we do this, so we can talk about it and try and understand the sense behind a mad person. I mean,
well, I wouldn't say that. I think it was more, like I keep going back to this. Something happened in the car.
Right.
And maybe it happened prior to making that right-hand turn. Maybe
exactly.
It happened prior.
I don't see them getting in the car with her having a plan to do this. Like you said, I agree with you. I think something happened between the two of them, and in that split second, she made the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
I still think that she thought no one was going to be seriously hurt, and she could lord it over him for the rest of their lives. And then it wound up being way worse than what she expected it to be. That's just my opinion on it.
Right. And in the heat of the moment, a lot of people make knee-jerk reaction judgments instead of stop, rethink this. Is there an alternative? Can there be an agreement? Can there be an understanding reached? But no, the younger kids, they just jump right in heads first. It's like bam, and they go ahead and they do it.
I believe you're right, Dan Davis. I bet mother was Googling everything to find a way to get her off. I wouldn't doubt it.
It's crazy.
Because the little bit we have seen out of the mother, I wouldn't doubt that one bit, Dan Davis. Would you, D?
No. And I'm curious as to why mom didn't do an interview like dad did.
I didn't even think about that.
Now, granted, there was the interview in the Netflix documentary with them together. However, he went out and he did this interview, but yet mom won't say a word. So I don't know.
All right, D. Man, this one was enlightening, both of these videos. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of shed some light on it, but I still want to see more. I still want to see, I want to see, was Dominic as bad as she was? And if he was, to me, there's no way that two people of the same strength, mindset, bullheadedness, and things like that, there's no way that type of relationship is generally gonna work,
Right. I mean, judging from the text messages that we saw earlier, I would, just off the text messages, and I know this isn't all of them, but just off of what we saw, he seems like the more level-headed. But like I said, we haven't seen all the text messages, so we don't know what he's really like. But that's where his friends and families if we have any way of finding out, or finding videos on that, where he has, where there are friends and families talking about Dom. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
All
And
right.
instead of all that, it's to me, it's conflicted. I'm conflicted because what she did was wrong. I honestly believe she had full knowledge of what she did even after they got her out of the vehicle and she was in the hospital. And it
Right,
just
Rob. Yeah.
convenient
Rob, go
to
ahead. What? Go. Oh, are you with me?
Yeah, I said it was very convenient for her not to remember when she got to the hospital, but
Right.
yet, somebody brought it up in chat. She did remember who was in the vehicle with her when they got her out. They asked her.
Right on. Now, Rob Pate, as Jay would say, she banged two rights. She turned right. She turned right on the road, and as soon as she turned right on the road, she floored it. And then as she got down the road, then she turned right again and went towards the building. So she made two turns. After the first turn is when she floored the accelerator, and then the second turn is where she, went towards the building. All right, D, I think we're going to call this one. We're going to send everybody to the barn.
All right.
Mama's still got her work clothes on, so I'm thinking she's got plans for me.
Okay.
So anyway, guys and gals, you know that we are on Monday through Friday from around 11 Eastern Standard Time to around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I hope to see each and every one of you in the morning. It's been a pleasure having all you guys here with us today. D, I've enjoyed having you on as always. I love bouncing this stuff off of you. You give me a different perspective.
Well, I appreciate you having me on anytime.
All right. All right. So, guys and gals, with that being said, everybody on replay, please remember to hit the like button. Okay. If anybody wants to help the channel, you can do that over on Rumble because I'm fully monetized over there. But if you don't, that's fine too. That's fine too. And with that being said, my friends, old Coop's pretty much going to say, Coop out.